In the year 1453, the world stood at the edge of transformation. Constantinople, the last stronghold of the Roman Empire, stood surrounded. For over 1,000 years, this city had resisted invasions, storms, and wars. But now, a new power was rising in the east, the Ottoman Empire. At 21, Sultan Mehmed II had a vision that consumed him. He saw Constantinople not just as a city, but as the crown jewel of the world, a key to controlling East and West. Determined, he rallied his army, trained his soldiers in new techniques, and prepared weapons that had never been seen before. His ambition was unmatched, and history would soon remember him forever. The Theodosian walls had guarded Constantinople for over a millennium. 3 layers of stone, towers rising like giants, made the city a fortress impossible to take. Generations of invaders had tried and failed. But Mehmed's cannons were unlike anything the world had seen. The old walls would soon face their greatest challenge. Mehmed unveiled a weapon of terror, enormous cannons capable of destroying centuries-old walls. Each shot shook the city, sending fear into the hearts of defenders. These massive guns changed the rules of siege warfare forever. Constantinople had never faced such destructive power. On April 6, 1453, the siege officially began. The Ottoman army surrounded the city completely, cutting off all supplies and escape routes. Citizens huddled in fear, while defenders prepared for the unimaginable. Every stone of Constantinople would soon witness the fury of a determined empire. Emperor Constantine XI refused to surrender. He knew the city's fate rested on courage and honor. Praying in the Grand Cathedral, he vowed to defend Constantinople until his last breath, knowing that the eyes of history were upon him. In a daring maneuver, Mehmed dragged his ships over land into the Golden Horn, bypassing the chain that protected the harbor. The defenders were stunned. For the first time, the city's lifeline was breached from a direction no one had anticipated. The bombardment lasted days. Walls that had stood for centuries began to crumble under relentless cannon fire. Fear and despair spread among the citizens. Constantinople's legendary defenses were beginning to fail. Even as the outer walls weakened, the inner defenses held strong. Brave soldiers and citizens fought side by side. Every street, every gate became a battlefield. The heart of the city refused to fall without a fight. On the night of May 28, 1453, the final assault began. Mehmed's army advanced relentlessly, knowing that the fate of an empire hung in the balance. The defenders readied for the ultimate confrontation, unaware that history itself was about to be rewritten. After weeks of relentless bombardment, the walls finally began to give way. The defenders fought valiantly, but the overwhelming force of Mehmed's army could not be stopped. Constantinople's gates, once symbols of impenetrable strength, were breached. The city erupted into chaos. Streets ran with panic and confusion. Citizens fled while soldiers battled in every alley. Constantinople, the jewel of empires, was facing the end of an era. The majestic Hagia Sophia, heart of Byzantine faith, fell into the hands of the conquerors. The sacred walls, which had stood for 1,000 years, witnessed the arrival of a new era. Constantinople was no longer Byzantine, it was Ottoman. At dawn, Mehmed II stood atop the walls of Constantinople. The city, once untouchable, now belonged to him. History had a new chapter, and the Ottoman Empire would rise as a power that reshaped the world. The fall of Constantinople marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and the dawn of Ottoman supremacy. A city that had withstood centuries of war now lay under new rulers. The world had changed forever. The citizens of Constantinople faced unimaginable fear. Families fled their homes while soldiers tried to defend every street. The city that had endured centuries of history was now gripped by chaos and despair. Despite overwhelming odds, Byzantine soldiers and citizens fought bravely. Every street became a battlefield, every alley a scene of resistance. Their courage, though valiant, could not stop the tide of conquest. With the city's gates breached, Sultan Mehmed II entered Constantinople. His army followed, victorious yet disciplined. The city, once the crown of the Byzantine Empire, had a new master. The transformation of Constantinople had begun. Churches became mosques, markets revived under new rulers, and life slowly adapted to Ottoman rule. A city reborn under a new empire was rising from the ruins of the old. The fall of Constantinople changed the course of history. The Ottoman Empire would dominate the region for centuries. The courage, sacrifice, and ambition witnessed that day left a legacy that echoed through time. Sultan Mehmed II envisioned more than conquest. He saw Constantinople as the heart of a thriving empire, a bridge between East and West. Every stone, every street, would reflect Ottoman glory for generations to come. The city began to rebuild. New markets, schools, and mosques rose from the ruins. Ottoman rule brought order, prosperity, and a vision for the future. Constantinople was no longer just a city, it was a symbol of empire. Under Ottoman rule, Constantinople became a hub of culture and knowledge. Byzantine traditions blended with Ottoman innovations. The city flourished, bridging civilizations and inspiring generations. Legends of the siege and fall were passed down through generations. Stories of bravery, sacrifice, and strategy inspired countless hearts. Constantinople's history became a lesson for the world. From the fall of Constantinople, the Ottoman Empire rose to power, reshaping trade, politics, and culture across continents. A single conquest had rewritten history, leaving a legacy that would endure for centuries. Constantinople's location was the key to controlling trade between Europe and Asia. Its conquest gave the Ottomans unmatched strategic advantage, securing routes, wealth, and influence across continents. News of Constantinople's fall spread fear throughout Europe. Leaders realized a new empire had emerged, powerful and ambitious. The balance of power had shifted, and the world watched closely. The siege of Constantinople became a legend of military strategy. Generations studied the tactics, the ingenuity of Mehmed's cannons, and the resilience of defenders. History remembers both courage and innovation. From the ruins, Constantinople was reborn. Under Ottoman rule, it flourished as a center of trade, culture, and knowledge. What was once a fallen city became a thriving heart of an empire. The legacy of Constantinople's fall endures. It shaped the Ottoman Empire, influenced world history, and reminds us that cities, empires, and civilizations are shaped by courage, ambition, and vision.